Yo, what up? It's your boy, Mr. E, and today we're going to be learning about comparison statements. So, in my video the other day, we learned a little bit about comparing two different numbers to each other, but sometimes we need to compare three or more numbers, and this is where comparison statements come in handy. We also might want to order these numbers from least to greatest or greatest to least. So, the steps are going to be very similar to the video we did the other day, but there's going to be a few minor differences. So let's dive right into the video. So let's say we were wanting to order some numbers from least to greatest, and we have a couple of random numbers here. Our first step is going to be to first determine which comparison symbol you'll be using. When it's least to greatest, you'll use the less than symbol. If it's greater to least, you will use the greater than symbol. So since we're ordering from least to greatest, we're going to use the less than symbol. Remember, the less than symbol kind of looks like an L, and it does matter which way it's open towards. The way I remember this is if it starts from least to greatest, I'm going to use the less than. L's first, so less than. If it's greatest to least, then it starts with the G first, so I'll use the greater than symbol. For step two, we're going to stack the numbers on top of each other. It does not matter how you stack them up. So don't try to order the numbers right now. Just put them in one straight line vertically so we can compare them a little bit more easily. Step three, draw the lines between the place value to help more easily compare the numbers. This might seem a little familiar from the video we did the other day. It's the exact same step. We're going to line them up, split them up by place value. Step four, draw a zero in any of the blank spaces. Remember, when we add a zero to the right of a decimal, it does not add or take away any value. So 4 and 86 hundredths is equivalent or has the same value as 4 and 860 thousandths. Step five, this is the really important step. We're going to find the first number in the comparison statement. Once you find it, cross it out. Write that number first, followed by the symbol you'll be using for the comparison statement. So we're ordering from least to greatest, so we're going to be looking for the number with the smallest value or the least value. So when we look at the ones place, all of them have 4 in it, so we can't really make a judgment there. We move over to the tens place, and it looks like that bottom number has a 7 in it, which makes it smaller than the top two numbers. So what we're going to do is we're going to cross it out. I also like to put an L next to it to know that that is the number that is the least. And then that number will start my comparison statement, followed by the less than symbol. We're going to continue to use the less than symbol when we're creating this comparison statement. Step six is repeat step five until your comparison statement is complete. So we're going to go back through. We know the top two numbers are equivalent in the ones place and in the tens place. So let's take a look in the hundredths place. It looks like 6 is less than 8. So our top number is going to be the next number that comes in our comparison statement. So we're going to cross out that number, put a G by the middle number because we know that that number is the greatest, and then finish creating our comparison statement. Then our final step is to read your comparison statement out loud and see if it makes sense. So I would say 4 and 799 thousandths is less than 4 and 860 thousandths is less than 4 and 883 thousandths. And that looks like it makes sense. It looks like we ordered it all up and it's all good to go. Now, one thing you may notice is that I kept the zero when I created my comparison statement. You could leave that out. You could have left it at 4 and 86 hundredths, but I like to include it just so it's a little bit easier to compare. So ordering numbers from least to greatest and greatest to least isn't too much different than what we did when we were just comparing two numbers, but there are a couple of slight differences. Let's go ahead and practice a couple of problems together. All right, so in this first problem, we're once again going to be ordering from least to greatest. So we need to figure out the symbol we're going to be using. Since it's least to greatest, we're going to go with the less than symbol. Remember, it starts with the L, so less than symbol. So we're going to now stack these numbers up. It does not matter the order in which you stack them up. I'm just kind of going from left to right here. And then once we've stacked these numbers up, we're going to draw some lines in between them. This helps us more easily compare the numbers. Now, any place that there's a blank space, we're going to add a 0. Again, that helps us more easily compare the numbers. Then we're going to go through and we're looking for the smallest number. In the ones place, they're all 3s. In the tens place, one of them's a 9. So I know that number is actually the greatest. So it'll be the last number in our comparison statement. We can kind of cross that number out now since we don't need to use it. Then we go to the hundreds place. And again, we're looking for the smallest number. And it looks like 0 is less than 5. So we're going to cross that out. And that's going to be our least. So we're going to say 3 and 801 thousandths is less than, the middle number would be 3 and 85 hundredths is less than 3 and 9 tenths. And to just ensure that we got the answer correct, we're going to read it out loud. So 3 and 801 thousandths is less than 3 and 85 hundredths is less than 3 and 9 tenths. Notice this time around, I didn't include the zeros. I just wanted to show you that there's more than one way to do it. I personally like putting the zeros at the end, but you can do it this way as well. So it looks like we have a good comparison statement and we're ready to move on. So the next one is going to be a greatest to least. So since it starts with that G, we're going to be using the greater than symbol. We're going to stack our numbers on top of each other. Once again, there is no rhyme or reason between this. I always just go left to right. Don't start trying to order it from least to greatest right now. Just not a very good idea to guess while you're doing that. Then we're going to draw the lines in between. Helps us more easily compare. Add the 0 to the end of that because it had a blank space. And now we're looking for the number that's the biggest. So in the ones place, they're all zeros. Tenths place, they're all fives. But in the hundreds place, our middle number has a number that's greater. So our comparison statement will start with this number. And then we're going to use the greater than symbol. Now we're looking for the next biggest number. The next biggest number will have to go to the thousandths place. And it looks like the 9 is greater than the 1. So 0 and 589 thousandths will go in the middle. And then our final number would be this number, and it'd be 0 and 581 thousandths. To just double check that we got it correct, we're going to read the comparison statement. 0 and 590 thousandths is less than 0 and 589 thousandths, which is less than 0 and 581 thousandths. I think I said the first number was 590 thousandths, but I apologize if I made a mistake. So looks like we have a good comparison statement and we did it correct. So comparing and ordering decimals can be easy. I know we're adding another number in there, but if you just follow these simple steps, you should be able to get a good answer. I do apologize that this video is a little bit more straightforward and didn't have any random memes or gags. But not all videos need them. I hope this video was helpful. Hopefully you'll get a little bit more practice with making comparison statements, and you'll feel like a pro in making comparison statements. We love you guys, we miss you, and I'll see you later. Bye.